God bless you. Today we're going to talk about intimacy. We're going to talk about the act, and then we are going to build around it, since this is School of Marriage. So we want to be practical about so many things, but God giving us grace, we are going to talk about intimacy. Now, there are many things that surround the sexual act of intimacy, the actual act. There is things that surround it. That's what we have to touch on first before we talk about anything else. Why? Because these determine how cool or boring it will be. These affect the whole scope of intimacy. So, with that in mind, I want you to understand that when you are married or immediately after you're married, whether you were a virgin or not, that does not determine whether you're going to have a boring intimate life or you're going to have an excellent intimate life. Because once you start, you start. Now, the things that affect the act, these determine whether someone will say, I hate sex with my wife or I love sex with my wife. These determine whether someone is going to want to go home to be with their partner, or they'll prefer to outsource or just don't want to be involved in anything pertaining to that. Among these things, first and foremost, you must understand you do not automatically get to a place where you and your partner are enjoying sex with each other. You don't appear there. You don't start in that level, in that place where it's just magic and it's magic all the way. You develop to that place. Yes, you can have moments where you can just say, the first time me and my partner did it, it was magic. Yes, but I want to talk about the long term here, not moments. The long term, sex and marriage is what I want to talk about. How to keep it going, how it remains going, whether it's going to be dead or what. That's what you want to delve in for now. You build, you get to know each other first. You get to understand each other first. You build into a certain space of your sexuality or your intimacy, if I'm to put it in a more gentle way. You build to get to a place now where you have studied each other, you have known each other, you now know that this works for us, this does not work for us. You build towards that place. You do not start there. You do not remain there. You build towards it, which means when you are married now, the sexual journey involves failing and being successful, and finally being in a neutral place where you are flowing sexually. With that in mind, if your partner, sometimes some couples act like they don't like being intimate, but the reality is there is something that is making it not enjoyable. There has to be something that is killing the sexual side of your marriage. You do not just say, my wife doesn't like it, my husband doesn't like it. No, there has to be something that has destroyed it or that is killing it. Now, that process of finding out what it is that affects your sexuality is what we want to touch on. God gave him a grace. We might actually solve most, if not all, of the problems. God gave him a grace. Now, understand that you grow into knowing each other properly. You grow into that place, into that space where you now know, if I do this, he likes it. If I do this, he doesn't like it. If I do this, she likes it. If I do this, she doesn't like it. To get to that place now where you have grown to know that my partner hates this, my partner likes this. It's a process, it's not an event. Which means naturally you have things that you think work in your bedroom. There are things you believe work in your bedroom. You think they work. But now you must get to a place of studying each other to know what works and what to throw away. You must get to a place of knowing what you should keep and what you should lose. Because some things don't work for you as a couple, but they work for other couples. They do not apply to your setup, but they apply to other people. So sexually, it's not a universal ground where you say this is how things are done sexually as couples. No, it's not like that. You study each other. You study how you as a couple operate sexually. We'll talk, it's a long topic, but we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about everything. First and foremost, you must understand that as you are getting to know each other, you are now married. You are now married. There might be elements of being shy. Married or not, there might be elements of being shy around the area now of intimacy. There might be elements there of being shy. You must kill that. That's one of the things you must destroy. Because how can you be totally intimate if you are shy with each other? I heard someone say they only do it in the dark. These are some of the stories we're talking about. You must step away from that zone to being able to seeing each other naked and doing everything properly. Now, when you are growing to know each other sexually, there are mistakes that will happen. It's part of the process. And during the process of knowing each other sexually, you are not allowed now to quit on your partner. Kuramwa. You are not allowed to lose interest totally. Because you are growing to know each other sexually. You are developing a sexual relationship. You are developing this intimacy. You are growing that side, that department of your marriage. You are building it. So in the process of building it, there are mistakes there. There are things you thought work and they actually don't work on your partner. They might work maybe based on your research on internet and what, but they don't work on your partner. So now you must get to a place where you're saying, we are studying each other sexually. It's a topic that you are literally sitting down, or you are developing, you are growing to study, to know each other specifically on the sexual side. As you be studying, to say we are studying, we want to have the best sex life. We want to have a great sex life in marriage. You'll be asking each other as you are doing things. Okay? You are doing it, react, respond, that your partner knows this is working, this is nonsense. React. You cannot expect them to prophesy that this is now what is working, this is not working. Respond to each other. You are developing. So there is a stage now that some couples, they skipped that stage. And when they skipped that stage, it became a problem later on because the other one just no longer wants to have sex. Or the other one, all of a sudden, they have gone low on their sex drive. Simply because they skipped a process. The school now of intimacy, they skipped it. They thought it was going to be automatic. They would just be flowing. They do missionary, they continue, life goes on. It doesn't work like that. Develop, know each other sexually. Whatever you do with your partner, do it in a way also that you are learning. Then you get to a place of actually then knowing that, okay, so for us, these styles don't work. These styles work. Life is not a movie. Marriage is not a movie. It will be happening. So you don't be fooled by some of the stuff you see on TV and stuff like that. Know what works in your marriage and what does not work in your marriage. Try out things. Try them all. Maybe today we're trying this. Try it. Do it. See if you can perfect it. If it works. If it doesn't work, no. Some things, they are mood based. They only work in when there's a certain mood. Then yeah, you can be as violent as it gets. But study. Study. Learn each other. Grow your sexuality. You are in this thing for the long run. It's not a moment. It's not a one night stand. It's not a hit and run. This is happening. You are going to be sleeping with this person for a very long time. You might as well just spend time to really know how to make your sex life good, how to make it enjoyable. So, intimacy with your partner, intimacy with your spouse, you grow to learn each other. It's not an event to have the perfect and most erotic experience. You grow to know each other. Don't skip the part of learning each other, because somewhere there along the way in your marriage, you need to eventually get to a place of learning about each other sexually. What works, what does not work. Now, with that being said, I will come back to this part here. There are things that affect the sexual act. There are things that make it work, and there are things that make it boring. Some of those things are cleanliness. There is a difference. It's a different experience when you are fresh and when you are not fresh. This applies to both of you, the husband, the wife. Cleanliness. If you're gonna have a good sex life, be clean. If you want to enjoy each other without disgusting each other, someone might not even, your partner might not tell you that you smell bad, but it will destroy your sexual life slowly but surely. They might not just tell you in your face that, you know what, you don't smell nice. I'm not talking about looking for the most expensive cologne. No, I'm just saying in basics, be clean. because there are a lot of fluids involved there. There's kissing, there's licking, there's all that. Be clean for the sake of your partner to just enjoy it well. Be clean for each other. So cleanliness affects intimacy. Cleanliness will affect intimacy. Be clean so that you may explore everything there is to explore without any problem. Now, you then go to a place where maybe your breath is smelling or your body is smelling many things on account of work or whatever. But if you're gonna kiss a lot and you want to kiss, work on your breath, because she won't tell you now that I don't like to kiss you. It destroys the flow of kissing when the breath is not nice. So if it means when you're at home, before you sleep, you brush your teeth so that your partner can enjoy you properly, do so. If it means when you're at home, when you're done with work, every night you're gonna freshen up your whole body, or maybe just wash the necessary parts, the armpits and wherever, just to keep things fresh. It's necessary. What you want to do is you want to keep your relationship, your sexual life flowing. You don't want to kill it because this thing is important. You are in it for the long run, for the lifetime. So imagine now your partner just wakes up and they don't like sleeping with you. They don't want to be with you. And you're wondering why. Not everyone has got the guts to tell you don't smell nice. They will just avoid you somehow. Even in general, when you're talking to someone, not everyone has got the guts to tell you that, I don't like your breath or I don't like the way you smell. They just somehow slightly avoid you. So cleanliness is going to affect your sexuality. It's going to affect your intimacy. It's necessary to be clean for each other's sake. If it means you take a shower before you do it, do it. These are some of the things that will definitely affect your intimacy. Cleanliness. Try it. Bath in the night. Brush your teeth. Do something. Be fresh. I could never emphasize this enough. Cleanliness affects intimacy. Look good. Be fresh. Now, being sexy simply means being sexually appetizing or being sexually appealing. For your partner to see you as sexy, you work towards that. Make yourself look nice for your partner. Make yourself look good for your partner. Not for your girlfriends or your boyfriends, your husband, your wife. She also wants to say, wow, this man is looking good. He also wants to say, wow, this woman is looking good. They want to do that. For the sake of your partner, take care of yourself. Be considerate about the way you look for the sake of your partner. You don't want to kill your intimate life. You want to build it. For your partner's sake, don't be scruffy. Look good. It's biblical. Look good for your partner's sake, that they may actually see you attractive. So you notice now that um, the way you look to affect your partner is for their eyes to see and for their eyes to like. Why not? I'm not talking about looking good because you have a girlfriend now, or looking good because you've got a boyfriend somewhere there. Looking good for munhu wako, for your person, for your husband, for your wife, is good for the sake of your intimate life. It's necessary. It's necessary. You come to me and say, man of God, I do my best, I look good, but still he cheats. We're going to talk about cheating on a different subject, on a different class. Today we're talking about intimacy. We'll talk about cheating on another class. So it's necessary for you to actually consider your looks for your partner. I'm not talking going all the way fancy. No, just be smart. It's good for what they see. Why not? The other thing that's going to affect your sexual life, maybe just to add on to what I'd said initially about the way you look, pretend she's your girlfriend or pretend he's your boyfriend. You want to impress him. What would you wear for your guy? What would you wear for your chick? This is your wife, do it for her. That's your husband, do it for him. So just to add on to that, look good for your partner. It's good for your intimacy sake. Now, the other thing that can ruin your sex life is character. The attitudes that you present to each other, the way you communicate with each other, the way you handle yourself, the way you handle each other, that can affect your intimacy in a very, very good or bad way. Because sex is 50-50, 50% psychological, 50% physical. If someone's mind starts hating you, disliking you, everything about them hates you, it dislikes you. They don't want to be in your arms, they don't want to be in your company because of the way you're treating them, because of the attitudes that you have. So beware of how you talk to each other. You cannot say you've been shouting at him, at the same time you want him to be horny over you. Right at the same time, you are beating it, and at the same time you also want it to be as romantic as possible. We have weird couples like those where they enjoy that fighting first and then, but well, hey, that's them. I'm talking about the normal life, you, the rest of the world, not just that 1%. Talk to each other nicely. Your character, your attitude towards your partner affects how they feel about you. If you're going to improve your sexual life, improve how you communicate with each other. Apologize where it's necessary. Create room for the energies that are exchanged between the two of you not to be fighting each other. They should be calm and complementing each other. The flow is necessary for the sake of intimacy. All right? So beware of how you communicate, beware of how you carry um, conversations with each other. Another thing you must consider when it comes to intimacy is know what your partner doesn't like and know what they like. There are conversations you must avoid before you have sex. There are conversations that can destroy the mood. Watch out for those conversations. The devil is a way of sneaking in on many couples this way. Beware of the conversations you have before you're about to sleep with your person. Because You trigger hate, you trigger anger, you trigger disgust and despising each other simply because there are buttons you are pressing. And at the same time, from you have put a person in a certain position, for them to rise now to a place of saying, hey baby, I love you, let's do this. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Hold yourself, be humble, control yourself. There are conversations to avoid if you're going to have a healthy sexual life. Beware of the things you talk about. Your last conversations, your last scene is dangerous. The last things you're talking about now, you're about to sleep, the things you're talking about before you get to a place of saying good night, good night. Beware of those conversations. They can destroy your sexual life. Hold your tongue. Know where you're going, it's not safe. You will sleep without having any because of the things you're about to talk about. Fix that. Control yourself in that area. It is necessary. It's your duty to do so. Don't be proud. Calm yourself down. Control the conversation, not to fight your sexual life. Control the conversations, not to ruin your moment of intimacy. So that's another thing. Beware of that. Consider that. Fix that. The idea here is we are working around intimacy. We are building, we are developing, we are um, trying to create a place where now you can say our intimacy, our life, our intimate life is flowing. You are having it as many times as possible. If you're saying you hate sex, there are high chances there's something you hate that makes you hate sex. Not the act itself, no. It's almost impossible with how good it is. But there is something that can be done by your partner that can make you hate it. Yes. There's an experience that can make you hate sex. It's possible. But now by God's grace, let's develop and see how we can reshape everything and get you to a place of flowing sexually. Your wife, you are the wife, you want to sleep with your husband wants to sleep with the wife, you are enjoying it. To get to that place, there are many things around the act. That's what we are touching on. So consider some of the things I just mentioned there. Because there are things that make you say, I don't like I'm not enjoying intimacy with my husband, I'm not enjoying intimacy with my wife, because there are things around that that affect it. Let's talk about the act now. If you listened to everything I was saying behind there, I touched on the most of the things that are mainly complained about that affect the flow of your sexual life. Now let's talk about the act itself. Husband, wife are sleeping with each other. We have You have done everything in your power. The kids are off to bed and there's no one. It's not just the two of you. Let's talk about the act. You are allowed to experiment. It's your partner, is your husband, is your wife. Instead of having fantasies that you're gonna go out there to get them, why don't you make it work in the midst of the two of you? The problem is this: some of the things you might want to do are along the lines of abuse, to be honest. But there is a way to discuss with your partner. Can we try this? Can we try this? Can you try this? Can you try this? Try everything. Try everything you can. Explore the sexuality fully with your partner and say, you know what? We have concluded this does not work. I hate this. I like this. I hate this. Train each other. Train each other. When you do this, it does nothing to me. When you do this, I don't like it. When you do this, I hate it. Train each other. What gets you there? What gets him there? What gets you there? Train each other. Grow this bond, this relationship, this intimacy. Grow it. Grow it. Master the basics. Master the basics. Know how to kiss each other, how to touch each other, how to lick each other. Know it all. It's your bedroom. It's your life. You know, you don't want your wife to think, hey, I wish I had a man who would do this. Or you don't want your husband to say, I wish I had a chick who would do this. No, 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 no. Some of these things are things you can just do with each other and for each other if you want to. So don't act all holy in an act like this when you're with each other. Be as freaky as you can. Enjoy it. That's the purpose, really. You want to enjoy it. You want to enjoy your husband. You want to enjoy your wife. Change the styles. Do everything you can. Enjoy it. If your wife is hating intimacy, or if your husband is hating intimacy, there is something that he hates, or there's something that she hates. That makes it say, you know what, we can't do this. Maybe it's going to happen once a month or once in 3 months or just twice a week or whatever. I've heard of funny stories really among people. I'm like, wow, really? How? But it's happening. How do people go for a month without having sex? How do you go for weeks without touching each other? How? There is something wrong there. So now, if both of you can get to a humble place and talk about your sexual life, you can fix everything. Baby, what's wrong? Talk to your husband. Be in a place and a state of mind where you are not easily offended. If you're going to do what I'm telling you here, you must be able now to be saying, babe, I'm ready. Let's talk about sex. What's the problem? Why don't you like it? You get in when I'm not ready. Oh, really? That's the issue. Fine. You're working towards that. Why don't you like it? Why? I don't like the way you smell. Oh, okay. What's wrong? You are touching everything. The wife is asking, the husband is asking. You must be in a place now where none of you are offended when the truth comes. I don't like this position. I don't like this style. I don't like it when you do A, B, C, D. You are not responding. Can you respond that I may know? Talk to each other. Build, grow your intimate life. Grow it. Grow it. When you skip this topic, this class, this subject, at any point in your marriage, at some point you're going to come back to a place of saying, we should talk about this. Because you see, the honeymoon phase in a relationship ends. That's the problem. The honeymoon phase in a marriage, it ends where within the first 2 or 3 years of being with your person, even if they just touch you, you just want to be with them, you just want to smash them, you want to do as much as you can. You guys will be so horny for each other. Like you'll be really, really, really in that place just by touching each other. Just a touch is enough. Just seeing your person, whatever their way, it doesn't matter. You just want to be them. There isn't much to add on. Even if they are not exactly in their best state on that day, just being with them, you just want to sleep with them. That place now, the thing is, that's not forever. That ends. What's gonna sustain your sexual life throughout the years when the honeymoon phase is over is the principles and the things that you've mastered along the way. It's the friendship and the relationship you have developed along the way. That's gonna keep the sexual life going. When you're still starting, when you're still together, when you're still seeing this girl, you're still seeing this boy, you just want to sleep with him. But it will fade. And life is gonna happen. Situations are gonna rise, you name it. The fading part. What's gonna sustain? What's gonna make you have sex every day or almost every day? What's gonna keep your sexual life going is because you've developed a life and principles, and you have known you have made the act enjoyable for both of you. So it will keep on going for years and years and years and years. All right. So be very careful when you're dealing with your intimate life. That's one part of your life, of your marriage, that can make the marriage boring or crazy good. You must like your partner. You must enjoy your partner. Okay. So we've got issues now that then happen in the bedroom. The man is having some erectile malfunction, and the wife maybe is not exactly getting there. These are things that happen. These are things that really happen. There are stories. She's just never ready. He is no longer liking it. There's a spiritual side to marriage. There's a spiritual side to intimacy. I'm not gonna spend much time to this, because when it's time for having sex, eh, the lesser the spiritual, the better. Enjoy, have sex. She's your wife, she's your husband. Enjoy it. She's your partner. Enjoy sex with each other. Now, on the spiritual part, there's a malfunction. There's erectile dysfunction. There's vaginal whatever happening. You pray about it. It's that simple. It's a deliberate prayer that you make to God. If it's going to be done daily until it's now flowing, you do it. If it means you're going to hold each other's parts and pray, do it. Do you think God is shy when he's the one who created these things? Why are you shy to present the situation to God when he's the one who created it? Touch each other's parts. Talk about them to God. If there's an issue there, pray about them. Hold each other's hands. Pray about your intimate life to God. Ask the Lord to want to have sex with your partner. Tell him. Pray about it. So the spiritual side there is pray about it. God bless you.